Alright, good morning, good evening, good night, I think, for NA parts of the world. But anyways, this is going to be our second day of the Asia and Oceania Trackmania Championship. We already had our last day being played out yesterday, where we are down to only 12 players. We're going to be fighting for the top 3 prize money as well as the title of the Asian OS Trackmania Champion. So we're going to be spectating the losers bracket round 4. At the moment there are 2 matches being played at the same time. We will be focusing on match 1. So we have a small look at the bracket. So first match is going to be Ainol, NRC, Lython and Arpo. So we'll have a pretty diverse playing field here. Ainol playing for NS from Malaysia, NRC from Australia, Lython from Indonesia playing for Team Curse, and Arpo, the only New Zealander here. And on the other match, there is a match between Winkyface, CTHN, Birdie, and Namu. From yesterday, we saw that Fidi and Gaming Boy qualified themselves for the grand final already, and Simply Nick and Seb are waiting for the players in the losers bracket final match. So we'll see who will be the players who will be the ones getting for those positions. Anyways, we're going to be starting our match between Lython, NRC and Ainol. We're going to be starting on Baguette. So the match is going to be played in cup mode, still at 100 till 100 points for now. In a 1v1, so who are not familiar with the format, players will have to play 4 rounds per map. They will collect points depending on 10, 6, 4, 3 points. When they reach the points threshold, they need to win a round to secure their position. And top 2 players from the match will advance to the next round, and bottom 2 players will be eliminated. As we see a very close round in round 1 between Ainol and NRC. Ainol goes for a very nice attack. It's going to be close round. NRC gets the lower jump. Might overtake them, and Ainol actually maintains his first position. Lython getting 3rd, NRC 2nd, and Arpo getting 4th. So already an Ainol on a very nice opening of the map. We already actually saw, I think this is a... Ainol had a pretty decent performance as he was in the winner's bracket semi-final, where he had to face off against Gaming Boy, Seb, and... I forgot the first person. But it was a full-on Asia final, where he sadly did not get the top 2 positions. And looks like he's trying to battle him away, as he was looking pretty decent as well. Arpo at the moment at the bottom, as we have a very close fight in the top 3. Between Lython and Ainol fighting for top 3 as NRC touches. Lython is just a couple of car lengths, but Ainol gets the butter bounce trick. And he snipes over Lython, gets another 10-pointer in their match. So Ainol already win a 10-point lead over 2nd place. Lython making the top 2 positions, so at once looking quite better for Asia in this match. As the both OS players really need to step up their game if they want to still survive in the event. Actually, now NRC is an elite as Lython bunks the side. Arpo goes for a bit of an outside line, tries to give it both more speed. Lython is at the bottom. Arpo tries to catch up on Ainol, who's at the moment in 2nd place. NRC and Ainol both getting a pretty solid low jump. It's gonna be a fight for the first positions as NRC in the lead by 0.5 seconds. Lython is actually in last place now. Arpo keeping in the 3rd position. Oh, NRC makes the mistake. That will allow Ainol to pass him. And I think Arpo will get the +6 as well due to that, and Lython as well. And due to that, NRC is in last position. So it's a very interesting situation here, where NRC had a good opportunity, but yeah, sadly it did not work out with him. He tried to push it for those extra 10 points there, but was not the best there. Small touch there from Ainol. Touches the sign, gets a small acceleration penalty on top of that. Now Lython trying to fight for those 10 points in this round. As Anasi is a minor lead. Both players get a pretty equal low jump. Einol's at the back. Oh, Arpo and Einol both touching, but Einol has a very nice save. Managed to survive it. Arpo is now bit at the bottom. Lython in the first place. Anasi has another mistake. So definitely not going too well for him. I think Einol respawned as well. So definitely a bit of a clown fiesta of a round as we have Lython taking the 10-pointer here. Arpo getting the +6 and Anasi the +4. So now Arpo gets a pretty nice points as well, closing in on the top 2 positions, but Lython getting that +10 there is really gonna make a bit harder time for the both OS players in the match. So now we're going to surface switch. One of the mixed style maps. So there's in this event there's a map consisting of 5 maps. There's one tech map from the ESAC competition map pack. There are 2 maps that were dedicated made for the event that we saw, Baguette and Surface Switch, that were made by myself and Lurk. As well, there's gonna be a Summer 19 being present in the map pack and 1 map from Trackmania Exchange. That's gonna be the Ice and Dirt mixed map, Uptown by Newtown. So most of these players are fighting for their chance for survival in the event now, since this is a top 12 already. Since more than a half of the players got eliminated during the first day. And since we already know 2 of the grand finalists, this is going to be a fight on who will be the 2 extra players who will have a chance in the grand final at the end. Okay, we're gonna start off our first match. After map 1, we have Einol with 30 points, Lython 24, Arpo with 19, and NLC in 4th place with 16. So at the moment, no major mistakes in the round as Lython and Arpo both get a bit on the outside line. But still a pretty close pack as Arpo is only a bit behind. Oh, he gets the auto slide there, loses a bit. Lython also drops back. It's like Einol at the moment in first place, following by NRC, who's trying to attack, get that +10 pointer that he's definitely needing, since he's at the bottom is in total scoreboard at the moment. Now pretty decent first place, but Lython and NRC are slowly closing in. Gain a 0.2 second in that one dirt turn. Zano still maintains his first position in the round. NLC tries to attack. We have seen a lot of mistakes happening in the end, but looks like not too many mistakes. All of the players make it through the end. It's going to be Einol taking the +10 pointer, following by NRC, Lython in 3rd, and Arpo in 4th. So Einol getting the 40 points there, already having 12 points lead over 2nd place. But 3rd and 4th place, or both those players, are still pretty close by, only 6 points away from Lython. So as mentioned, top 2 players from this match will move on to the losers bracket, round 5. But bottom 2 players will be eliminated. Again, not one of the best starts for Arpo, being the only representative from New Zealand in the entire tournament. Einol bit touches the grass there, will lose a little bit of speed. Coming closer to the Lython and NRC. NRC is at the moment in a pretty convincing lead, but we have seen a lot of mistakes as Lython touches the side. Will drop down. Larpo still is pretty far away. Will not give him a nice opportunity to overtake that for the +4 points. As we see, get both NRC and Einol finishing with not too big of an issue, and NRC will get the +10 pointer, following by Einol with the +6. We still have not seen a 57 in the match that we have been witnessing in the winners bracket semis and winners bracket finals so far. So some of the players definitely need to step up their pace if they want to challenge the top contenders, but we saw that having a pretty decent consistency can definitely work those points up as well. And so far NRC is looking pretty regular on this map. Same with Einol. Arpo having a bit faster start finally, but he touches the side, tries to risk it for that extra speed. Does not work out that well. Both NRC and Einol going for the full grip line, trying to not go for the riskier bumps line. But NRC is at the moment in the lead by 0.4, following by Einol. Einol tries to attack, gains even 0.2, both with Lython as well. NRC not having the best line throughout that section, as the both Asia players are slowly inching their way to the Australian. Lython has good speed, but he has too much speed with the outside line. Can he save it? Oh, Einol has a shaky line. He had to adjust, and he flews out. And that will allow Lython to overtake for the +6 pointer, as NRC gets another +10 points. And dropping down from the bottom of the pack, now he climbs himself up to the 2nd place in the scoreboard, as Arpo is now slowly getting at the bottom, with having even 10 points gap to Lython. And Lython having those couple of mistakes in some of the rounds is definitely costing him some of those extra points and allowing NRC to overtake him in the total standings. So this is like a very good map for NRC, definitely using the map to his advantage, winning most rounds and getting those extra points that are very needed to get him closer to the finalist status. NRC once again in the lead, definitely showing that this is a pretty good map for him, trying to get those extra +10 pointers and trying to use them. This on the map when he was the best, especially in terms of consistency, so definitely a bit of improvement as we have Arpo dropping out of the round, being in the bottom positions, Lython with a pretty big gap to the top 2 players. So it's NRC again in the lead, followed by Einol. Both of the top 2 players, Einol was looking a bit shaky, but no, Einol actually fell the end. With the bump, he lost too much speed, and that will allow Lython to get the +6 points. And I think... no, it's not going to be. It's only going to be 1 point gap. But Einol still maintains in the lead even with the major mistake. But both NRC managed to use this map to a pretty good advantage, dropping from climbing up from the last place to even up to the 2nd, and only 1 point away from this 1st place. So next map is going to be Summer 19, which is one of the only map from the seasonal summer campaign. This was selected to be in the map pack for this event. If you look at the results, so Einol at the moment in the lead with 53 points, and NRC in 2nd with 52, Lython in 3rd with 44, and Arpo with 32 in 4th. So since this is played in cut mode, these players will have a pretty nice advantage. Of course, Einol and NRC so far looking the strongest one, but Lython also having a pretty solid presence there, but I feel like it depends on what kind of maps he will get. And especially when we're closing into that 100 points gap, and on the map that will be important to secure the finalists, maybe some maps will be better for up the bottom, the players like Lython and Arpo in this matchup. That could allow them to make some nice comeback, as we have seen in some matches beforehand, especially in the winners bracket semifinal 1, where Gaming Boy was 3rd all the time, and only when finalists came he managed to secure the 2nd position and grant himself a spot in the winners bracket final, and then in the grand final on top of that. We have an actually early mistake from NRC. He definitely had good consistency on the previous map, now not looking that great. All 3 rest players, Arpo, Einol, Lython, making it through the first part. Lython now in the lead, falling by Einol. Einol having a bit better speed. He kept the gear as well. Lython touches the wall. Very fortunate section on top of that. Just before the freewheel pot, not allowing him to maintain a lot of speed, allowing him and to Arpo to overtake. Meanwhile, NRC is still pretty far back with his mistake early on. So it looks like Einol's going to be a pretty secure 1st place unless he bonks the pole, but it's going to be a close fight for those 6 points. As Lython tries to save Arpo's from the back, Lython touches the side and Arpo will get the +6 pointer, as Einol gets the +10 with a pretty big gap on top of that. But those are pretty needed +6 points for Arpo as well, +10 for Einol, increasing the lead in this match. Lython with the early mistake. Tried to get a bit more speed from the first bar, but sadly did not manage. None of the players got the upper gear, and both... so we have 2 players out in this round from early beginning, so it's a fight between Einol and Arpo. Einol at the moment in the lead. Looks like Arpo has a bit better speed here. As a bit better landing, gets a bit more speed there. Gavian gets closer to Einol, but a bit shakier line there. Yeah, that's not the most optimal dirt line right there. That will, I believe, will increase the lead to Einol, and that should be a secured plus 10 points for Einol. Yes, it will, with the 50.9. Lython in third, and as well, again, NRC not having the best performance. Looks like only one good map for NRC. Rest of the maps are not looking that good for him, as he's slowly now dropping down in points. Lython is slowly catching up, and actually Arpo is slowly getting those plus 6s. Now slowly getting closer and closer to that second place, as only the points gap is down to only 14 points between last and second. Arpo now actually in the lead, following together with NRC, having a pretty close fight between the both 2 OS players, as Lython is out of the round. And now goes for the wider line, gets a bit more speed, overtakes Arpo in the section as well. Not the smoothest landing since both players got the gear down. NRC goes for the their approach, tries to get a bit more speed. Let's see what will come. We saw a lot of bunks from NRC previously. Oh, Arpo gets the skids. And it's going to be NRC taking the plus 10 points. Einol in second, and Lython almost snipes Arpo there. But Arpo still managed to maintain their third position. So NRC slowly getting that 10-pointer definitely probably gives him a bit of confidence, increasing the points gap between him and Lython. Since only top 2 players from this match will move on, the bottom 2 will get eliminated. Arpo with unlucky first touch, Lython as well having the mistake. So the top 2 players from the match are in the lead in this round. Einol at the moment in the first place with the 0.2 lead. Looks like both Lython and Arpo not having the best of starts. Yeah, Einol slowly building his lead away over NRC, as actually NRC gets the free will block. Oh no, yeah, it looks like not a very good round for Arpo so far. But actually Lython is slowly climbing himself closer and closer to NRC so far. And actually still be NRC getting the plus 6 points, as Einol gets the plus 10. But sadly no, Arpo does not manage to finish, and he won't get any points from there. As we're gonna switch maps, we're gonna be going to Uptown, which is the Dirt Ice hybrid map. So after map 3, results are as follows, as Einol is at 89 points, NRC is at 74, Lython at 59, and Arpo at 48. So Einol just needs to... He needs to basically get two top 2 finishes, and he will be entering finalist. But of course, denying those extra 10 pointers to not allow his opponents to climb closer become very crucial when in finalists you're not able to gain any more points, but only your opponents will be able to. So that will definitely make it a bit more interesting. So definitely he needs to be, but Final being a pretty strong contender as well, having one of the faster times on this map. If we actually check on the times on this map from the players, actually Einol has the 3rd fastest time overall, and the fastest time from the current match players with a 43.0 flat. And then we have NRC with the 43.3. Bit hard to see where are the rest of the players from this match, but yeah, it looks like Einol being the fastest player in terms of pace. And NRC also being up there with very close time in for his rounds as well. As we see a close fight at the top already. It's NRC at the moment in the lead, falling by Einol. Now Lython in third place as Einol makes the mistake. And will fly out, have to respawn. That will throw out some of the precious points that he will definitely need for the later on, as NRC is now in the lead. Will get those extra 10 points. Lython in second place with the +6. And at least Einol gets the finish, but he definitely needs to get that round win next time if he wants to enter the finalist, as NRC is now closing his way to the 100 points gap as well. Lython having a pretty big points gap still to the top two players, but if he does a pretty solid performance, he can definitely still easily catch it up. Since this is gonna be, if you wanna check out the bracket, !AOTC, it will have the link to the bracket spreadsheet with all the qualification and bracket results. So at the moment we have NRC in the lead, falling by Einol. Einol having a way better bobsled entry there. Allows him overtake NRC. NRC tries to blast it through the byslide, as actually Einol gets a bit more speed, and I believe this will be Einol getting the +10 points, and he will be the first player to enter the finalist status in this match. Actually, NRC is at 90 points, so if NRC gets to deny Einol in the next match, he will enter the finalist status himself as well. Meanwhile, Lython is at 67 points, sorry. So it's a pretty big gap for him, but it's still pretty doable. But the pace from NRC and Einol are looking a bit more dominant in this matchup, as we have both two players at the top as already. That's going to be a close fight. Can Einol secure this position and move on to loser's bracket round 5? Can NRC deny and enter the finalist status as well, as we have a very close round so far. Einol just in a minor lead. Who will get the better slide? It looks like Einol has a bit more speed. He gets a bit of airtime, but looks like with the line it will be NRC taking the +10 points. And he will be the second player to enter finalist status too. And it should be double finalists now. Who will be the player who will take the win in this match? And we'll move on to the next round. So far, NRC and Einol looking the best so far, but it's now up to Lython and Arpo to take some points for them as well. But the main focus is going to be on Einol and NRC. So who will be the player? Einol being pretty dominant in this match, but NRC's performance on this map has not been the worst as well, as Einol makes the mistake. That will give a nice opportunity for NRC to finally finalize this finalist status and even win this match and move on to the next stage, unless something mysterious happens in the end. Lython at the moment in second place, trying to get that extra +6 to at least get that opportunity for him to close in. He gets a bit of airtime. I think that will be Arpo actually sniping him, but it will be NRC winning the match and moving on to loser's bracket round 5. So Einol definitely needs to step up his game, but he still has a pretty long leeway with Lython and Arpo being pretty far behind in terms of points. So both Lython needs to win like 4 rounds to deny him, Einol. So he has definitely way more breathing room. But let's see how it'll go on this map. I believe this was... Einol was not looking the best on this map, as we saw on the winner's bracket semi-final. Definitely one of being the weaker maps for him. But I believe Lython was actually looking a bit better than Einol. Well, let's see what will happen then here. So Einol just needs to get that round hit win, and he will eliminate both Lython and Arpo from the tournament. So Arpo and Lython, if they want to have some saying in the event and survive for the round 5, they really need to step up at their game and try to deny Einol for the next couple of rounds. As the next map is going to be Baguette. So I believe that's not the map where you want to face off against Einol. So this is, they really need to get those extra wins here that will be needed. I think it's pretty doable for both Arpo and Liaton to get some extra points there and get them closer to the finalists themselves. But yeah, it's all up to Idol. Can he get that as we get that first place in the round and finalists and get himself into losers bracket round 5? Zarpo not having the best of starts. Well, we have Idol leading so far in the match. Lython is still pretty close by. Well, having a bit more speed throughout that part as Lython gets the no slide, and I think since the second gap is already more than second, but not having the best of line for Idol there. It's yeah, it still looks a pretty solid performance here for Idol, and most likely, unless there's a massive mistake happening, this should be GG. Let's see what will be happening in this round, and I think it will be yes, and Idol will be the second person to go on loser bracket round 5, and due to that, Liathon and Arpo will be eliminated from the tournament. And Arpo being the last or the only New Zealander player in the event will be eliminated. So, but Indonesia still has a say, as there are one Indonesia player left as well, and he's waiting in the grand final on top of that. So yeah, we will have both NRC and Idol moving on to the losers bracket round 5 match that will be played on fairly soon. Let's actually want to quickly chat. Maybe we can see what's happening here. If we can maybe have a sneak peek on the results on the other match. Oh, okay, the other match has ended. Oh, sorry, this is the current match. My mistake. So let's see if maybe we can see if the match has ended or not, since the match results have not been updated yet on the bracket. Okay, so we have Winky Face winning the round so far, so it's a fight between CTHN and Namu. It's actually where Namu now enters, gets the 10 points, and enters the finalist status himself. CTHN being pretty close in terms of points as well. So it's a fight between Namu and CTHN on who will be the player who will move on to the losers bracket round 5 from this match. Namu being the only chance for India left, since the only player from India left in the event. Let's see what happens. So it's pretty high stakes round. Namu really needs to take the win. CTHN in second place, only going for the deny. As Namu touches the wall, and CTHN will go into the lead, and this might be the chance for a double finalist now on who will be the player on who will move on to the losers bracket in round 5, eliminating the other player from the event. To be honest, this is a bit more favorable map for CTHN, so he looks like he's looking pretty good, but keep in mind that Namu did have a mistake early on, so it's not too big of a gap. And we have a double finalist, so the winner of this 1v1 will be moving on to the loser bracket round 5, as the other player will be eliminated. Both of the players are the only representatives of their countries left in the event, so it's a pretty high stakes round, as India has a lot of supporters, being the current top player in India as well. Namu at the moment in the lead. As Namu touches the wall, full-on crashes. That will give CTHN an opportunity to get a comeback in this match, as he is multiple seconds ahead of Namu. And he just needs to finish. Looks like, yeah, Namu is mentally broken right now. And as long as CTHN manages to finish, he will be able to secure himself into the losers bracket round 5, facing off against NRC and Idol and Winky Face as well. So GG's, we have our 4 players known for the round 5. So we will have Winky Face, CTHN, and NRC. One second. So all of the 4 players are now known. And if we have a small scanner at the brackets now. So we do have that Idol and NLC go through to the winners bracket round 5. Whereas now, since Birdie was not able to play in the match, now we will get eliminated with a very close match as well. On the top side of the bracket, we still have Vidi and Gaming Boy waiting for the other players in the grand final. Seb and Simply Nick are gonna be waiting for the top 2 players from the Idol, NLC, Winky Face, and CTHN match. So the top 2 players from the Idol, NLC, Winky Face match will be going on to the loser bracket final, where the bottom 2 players will be eliminated. The same thing will be happening in the loser bracket final, where already Simply Nick and Seb are waiting for the top 2 players from the previous match coming, and Vidi and Gaming Boy are waiting in the grand final. So we're gonna have a small break, and in around 12 or so minutes, we're gonna be back with the loser bracket round 5. So see you. Stay tuned. Alright, and we are back with the Asia and Oceania Trackmania Championship Summer 2021. We're gonna be starting our losers bracket round 5 match, consisting of 4 players. It's gonna be Winky Face from Australia, Einol from Malaysia, CTHN from Japan, and NRC from Australia as well. We have a small look. We're going to be starting on Summer 19. We have a small look at the bracket on how the players managed to reach in this match. So look at all the way at the beginning. So we saw that there were 32 players in total playing in the competition. So CTHN managed to reach the winners semi-final 1. Same with Einol, but they did drop down. Whereas Liathon did drop out the losers bracket quite early in round of 16 against Dangerous, Simply Nick and Fiddy. Managed to go through the entire losers bracket, coming back. And very similar situation with Winky Face, where he lost in the winners bracket semi-final to Fiddy and Simply Nick, and he's now making an appearance in this match. Top 2 players from this match will move on to the winners bracket final. To the loser bracket final against Simply Nit and Seb, where we also have Fiddy and Gaming Boy waiting for other players in the grand final. And where we have a match starting already, we're starting on map Summer 19. So it's going to be played in the regular cup mode format till 100 points with the traditional point system 10-6-4-3 for rounds per map, and players will be playing till 2 winners. So top 2 players from this match will move on to the losers bracket final, and where the bottom 2 players will be eliminated. We already see Winky Face at the moment in the lead, following in Einol in 2nd place. Actually, Einol respawns, and they're now see in 2nd place, and CTHN actually gets the 3rd place, as Einol had the mistake. So Einol had a pretty iffy start in the winners semi-final 1. Where he was very close on making it as well, but sadly did had some couple of mistakes. So hopefully that won't happen here as well. So at the moment, Winky Face and NRC being the top 2 positions, being the 2 Oceania players at the moment. So I feel like it's a bit of an issue on who will be the one taking the pass and who will be the more players being in the final. Will it be a bit more Asia players or a bit more host players? As they're pretty balanced at the moment in terms of player numbers. So at the moment we have Winky Face and NRC in the top 2 positions already, as CTHN and Einol are in the 3rd positions. Already relatively close match, especially a bit of a car reverse card moment comparing that we had in previous round, as we have NRC and Winky Face at the moment in top 2 positions. Einol has a bit more speed, allows him to overtake CTHN, and it'll be NRC taking the 10-pointer, following by Winky Face, Einol in 3rd, and CTHN in 4th place. So definitely both host players are looking a bit more stronger in this round. Both players having 16 points already, as both Asia players only at 7. So it's gonna be a bit iffy match, at least so far, looking for the both Asia players. Einol being the current best player from Malaysia, and CTHN being I would say the 2nd best player, or maybe the best in Japan at the moment. Einol gets the upper gear, gets a pretty nice start as well, as Winky Face gets it as well, gets a bit more speed as well with the smaller low jump, goes in the top positions at CTHN. At the moment the bottom gets a bit more speed than NRC, but if they will get the gear, NRC gets the lower down, as actually Winky Face gets the free wheel block, allows both Asia players to overtake them, as NRC is at the moment in 3rd position, fighting with CTHN for those +6 points, as Winky Face at the bottom. But we have seen a lot of mistakes happening at the end, where people slide out or bonk the pole, and looks like it's going to be Einol taking the +10 points, and NRC taking the +6, CTHN in 3rd place, and Winky Face with the +3. Definitely the Asia players are going a bit better performance now, getting those extra few points and reducing the points gap only down to 2 points from the top 2 positions between Einol and Winky Face. So it's definitely Einol definitely stepping up the game as he's been really consistent, maybe lacking the pace, but having a pretty solid consistency, and hopefully he can get that performance here in this match as he has a bit better speed as well. He gets the upper gear as well and bonks the speed, and when you get the upper gear you have a pretty tight line to do so. It's really hard to do so when you get the actual upper gear. You go through that ending part. So he did not manage to go as CTHN having a big shaky line but still maintains the lead as Winky Face and both NRC are attacking with more speed. All players successfully jumping over the free wheel, no one getting penalized. Winky Face at the moment in the lead. NRC having a bit better aggressive line, but still a close round as NRC gets the grid out, touches the inside block item. Winky Face at the moment leading, has a bit better line as CTHN has to slow down, gets the water skid marks, but I think it will be enough for him to get the +6 points as Winky Face gets the +10, CTHN in second place with the +6, NRC with third place with the +4, and Einol at the bottom, who managed at least to finish. At least those, every single point really matters, but we have a relatively close match still, even though it's a bit all over the place. O's players did had a bit better start, but let's see how it will go now. So a bit of the map selection has been a bit shuffled, so it's not going to be the same map as we saw all the time. So after map 1, we have Winky Face in the lead with 29 points, and I'll see in second place with 26, Einol with 20 at third, and CTHN at fourth with 17. As we're going to be moving on to baguettes that was made by myself. In the map pack there consists of 5 maps. It's one map is from the ESAC competition title pack as a tech-oriented map style. There are 2 maps dedicated for the events, which was made from myself and Lurk. Those both are a bit more mixed style maps. There's one map from Nadio as we already saw, and there was one map randomly chosen from the Trackmania exchange that we're most likely gonna see a bit later on. Ah yes, the good old O-slag. But hopefully that won't disrupt the performance for the players, as well as the ping doesn't really matter. It's all about on if the times are sent to the leaderboards, and it should be all good for the players if they just manage. So no ping issues as we have seen, only this goes a bit lagging, so the ping is not that important in the game as other games. But anyway, we're starting our first round on Baguette, following CTHN from Japan. At the moment, Winky Face is in the lead, following by NRC. Actually, CTHN having a pretty solid drift there. The NRC panels with the better one. NRC going for the insider approach, trying to get more speed. Onto this as he flips. And that will allow other players to overtake him as Winky Face still managed to lead. And it's a close fight for second place between Einol and CTHN for those extra +6 points, as Winky Face in a pretty solid first position, going for the +10 points. Einol has a bit more speed with the better release timing, and it's gonna be actually Einol attacking. He looks like Winky Face not having the best of speed, and still be Einol sniping Winky Face at the end, getting the +10 points. CTHN still maintaining that third position, but Einol sniping Winky Face there at the end was a very good step, as he will put him a bit closer, and I'll put him into second place in the total point standings. So at the moment, Winky Face still in the lead, but Einol slowly creeping thereby. So keep in mind, top 2 players will move on to the loser bracket final, as bottom 2 players will be eliminated from the event. CTHN actually now with the better start. Einol bit at the back. CTHN going for a bit of outside line, trying to get a tighter approach. As top 3 players are pretty close by only 0.15. Beat all of them, as CTHN goes for the lower jump and bonks the pipe, as with the both 2 O's players are now fighting just only 100 difference. Einol touches the side, so both of the Asia players are out of this match. Winky Face trying to attack, get those extra points from NRC. NRC goes for the bit awkward line, but Winky Face a bit more speed, and who will be taking it? Actually gonna be NRC with a very close round, only between 0.05 between the both 2 players, but NRC will be taking the +10 points there. Winky Face taking the +6, Einol in third place with +4, and CTHN managing to finish with the +3 at the end. So definitely a nice fight for the second place, even though for the first place the points gap is really close there. At the moment, Winky Face leading the round. We're having a pretty decent start as soon as he touches the wall. But where's the rest of the players? Did everyone make a mistake? Looks like it seems so, yeah. So, very shaky start from everyone, as CTHN is actually now in the lead. But Winky Face and NRC having a bit better speed there. Oh, and also Winky Face having a really good line there, has a nice risk overtake CTHN there. Where is NRC? NRC is pretty close by as well, as a pretty close round there. But Winky Face get the top 10, the 10-pointer, following by CTHN with the +6 and NRC with the +4 and Einl with the +3. So Einl getting the couple of last few positions in like 2 rounds in a row. Definitely now increasing the points gap for the both OS players at top. Well, meanwhile, CTHN slowly now closing by, getting the top 2 positions in the last 2 rounds. Winky Face at the moment in leading after the first tech part. Following by CTHN and NRC. Looks like goes for the low jump. Looks like pretty still close fight so far. Winky Face in the lead between NRC and CTHN. CTHN having a bit better release, having a bit of an awkward line throughout that part. And we will actually have a super close round, with Einl taking the +10 points, Winky Face in the second place, all players being only between 0.4. So Einl getting that extra 10 pointer will put him in a tight position for second place. So definitely a solid round from them, but to my surprise, none of the players did a 44. That will be really definitely needed to do in later parts of the event. So now we're going to the surface switch. Another map that was made for the events by Lurk. So another mixed style map, with mainly focusing on tech-like turns and some dirt sections. If we have a small look at the times from the players. So Einl has the fastest time out of the players with the 57.7. Winky Face with the second fastest time from these players, 57.8. CTHN also with the 57.8. And NRC with the 57.9. So pretty close times. Einl at the moment being the 5th fastest time in the world with his time. Winky Face in 6th position. CTHN with 7th and NRC in 10th. So pretty close times. At least the PBs from all of these players on this map. So let's see what will do the rounds performance, as we saw Einl having looking a bit shaky, trying to risk the end a bit too much. And due to that, dropping some rounds in the loser bracket round 4. But let's see how will the performance do in this match, as all of the 4 players are pretty close in terms of skill on this map. And in terms of pace, sorry. So let's see how it'll go. Winky Face going for a bit of an outside line, trying to get a bit more speed. But looks like NRC still maintains the lead after the first few sections. Gets a nice inside line as gets shaky outside part, as Einl gets now leads the race, following by CTHN, while both OS players following close by. NRC having the mistake. Previously we saw NRC being pretty solid, having 40 out of 40 points collected in the previous match. CTHN now makes the mistake. So it's now Einl and Winky Face fighting for those +10 points. Winky Face a bit lagging. Hopefully not too big of an issue there, as Winky Face mentioned that he will have some network issues entering the event. So hopefully that won't be resolved too much, as we have Einl going for the safe way, seeing that all of the other players have made a mistake. As we have Einl getting the +10, CTHN. Yeah, 10,000 ping for Winky Face. Bit unfortunate there. But that's sadly something we cannot do. Hopefully the internet issues will be smoothed out for him. Anyway, due to that, we have Einl going in first place with the tied points with Winky Face, NRC in 3rd place, and CTHN with 4th with 39. Einl currently leading together with Winky Face, where NRC is a bit far behind, same with CTHN, but not too far. And being only 0.3 as CTHN gets the no slide, as we have a super close fight between Winky Face and Einol gets a bit more speed with that line, but he has to readjust for the better approach there. Winky Face a bit lagging, but still pretty close fight between the both players as Winky Face a bit more speed. Winky Face gets a bit airtime, but Einol gets the full grip. But speed is still pretty equal out so far. As Winky Face goes for the safe finish, both of them make it, and Winky Face will get the plus 10 points, solidifying himself into the lead, with Einol getting plus 6, NRC with the plus 4, and CTHN with the plus 3. So both top 2 players are now a bit increasing the gap between 3rd and 4th place. But the points gap overall is still not. It's pretty doable to make a comeback, especially for CTHN, as we saw a comeback between a 30 points gap in, I believe it was one of the winners bracket early rounds. So definitely some interesting comebacks can happen. Or like the similar situation with Gaming Boy in the winners bracket semi-final 1, where he was all the time in 3rd place, but in the last moments he managed to get a finalist and got himself a top 2 position in the winners bracket final, where he even won the top 2 going to grand final. As we have a CTHN with the early mistake getting the no slide, as we have a close fight between Winky Face, Einol and NRC. Winky Face at the moment leading, following with a close fight between Einol and Einol trying to risk it a bit, get a bit more, build more speed. We have seen a bit of airtime or solid lines as NRC gets a sick line throughout that, gets the tight grip as he clips to the inside, puts him out of the round. As Winky Face have a bit shaky approach, but Einol has a bit faster one, but still be Winky Face taking the 10 points as actually CTHN snipes NRC for that 3rd position, that for those 4 points. But still, the top 2 players are getting those extra points at the top, increasing the gap between NRC and CTHN. So now Winky Face is only 23 points away from reaching finalist. So far closer on shaky line there, but NRC doesn't have the best exit speed entering that part and entering the dirt part. Einol still in the lead. All of the players going for the full grip line. Oh, finally CTHN gets the drift, doesn't get the no slide, now puts him a very close fight so far. Looks like Winky Face having a small issue, trying to save the round a bit, but now puts him at the bottom. Einol at the moment leading, CTHN in 2nd place with NRC in a close 3rd. NRC this time gets a bit of an airtime, doesn't have the most optimal exit speed there, but Einol has a solid 1st position. Einol has a very shaky line from NRC, and actually Einol taking the plus 10 points, CTHN getting the plus 4, Winky Face managing to barely get in the risky finish with the plus 4, and NRC taking the plus 3 in the end. So CTHN slowly inching himself way closer to NRC, and the mistake from Winky Face cost him the points gap to getting closer and closer with him and Einol. As we're going to the Uptown, which was the randomly selected TMX map for the event. So after previous map, we have Winky Face in the leading with 81 points. Einol is still pretty close by with 79. NRC in the 3rd place with 61. And CTHN in 4th place with 52. So in this match, top 2 will advance to the losers bracket final, where they'll be facing off against Simply Nick and Seb. Simply Nick being from Australia and Seb being from Taiwan. But we have a pretty diverse playing field so far from the countries as well, being 3 nations being represented in this matchup. Well, if you look at the times on this map, I believe Einol had one of the faster times here. So Einol has the 3rd fastest time and fastest player out of the players with a 43.0 flat. Winky Face having a 43.1. NRC having a 43.3. And I believe this was not one of the best maps for CTHN, as his PB is only 44.7. So probably a really rough time for CTHN to get some points, but I think we're gonna see a pretty close fight between Winky Face, Einol and NRC on this map. After first CP, Einol is in the lead with NLC having a bit more speed, but it's a pretty close fight between them two. CTHN and pretty far back already. NLC currently leading the round with a pretty close fight between Einol and Winkyface, slowly trying to track him down for those plus 10 points. Oh, Einol with the best bobsled section with a very nice entry as well. A bit of a shaky run, doesn't maintain that much exit speed as Winkyface has a bit better speed, overtakes Einol, and I think it's going to be NLC taking the plus 10 points, Winkyface with the plus 6, Einol with the plus 4, and CTHN almost even PBing with this time, but it's sadly the gap is too big with the plus 3. So now Winkyface just needs to win one round and one second place, and he should be solidified in finalist. As we have actually Einol still pretty close by, with only being 4 points away from Winkyface. Again, a close round between Winkyface and Einol. NLC is not too far away in third place, only being 0.2 behind. Having a bit better line there. And slowly even closing in on potential to overtake us. Einol as Winkyface full-on crashes into this checkpoint. Both players not having the best bobsled parts, but Einol having a bit better one. NLC clips the side. And I think that might even allow CTHN to overtake NLC potentially, but I don't think that will be enough. And Einol will take the plus 10 points in this round. NLC in second with the plus 6, and CTHN with the plus 4, and Winkyface with the early mistake in the CP will be put with only plus 3, now putting Einol in the lead of the match. So if either Winkyface or Einol win this round, they will put in the finalist status. And I'll see not having the best of starts, even allowing CTHN to overtake, as we have Winkyface at the moment in the lead, following by Einol in second place. So it's a pretty big gap already, actually, to my surprise. We have seen Einol looking way better on the bobsled part. Actually, Winkyface is a pretty good entry as well, but Einol is still gaining on it. Has a very nice grist there, has a lot of speed. Not having the best approach on the ice, on the dirt section, but it's going to be Winkyface getting the pretty decent time as well, 43.3. Pretty fast time. Well, getting the top plus 10 points and putting himself into the finalist status. So Winkyface now needs to win a round, and he will secure himself into the winner's bracket final that will be played right after this match. Meanwhile, Einol is a bit of an unfortunate situation with 21 points, so Einol just needs to finish, but he can try to deny Winkyface for that first place position. So Winkyface at the moment leading, but it's a pretty close round, having a small ping issues. It's actually very, very closer in terms of ghosts. Oh, actually pretty even bobsled parts. Usually Einol bit gains on the bobsled section. Doesn't seem this line, but he has a way better line, a bit better more speed. But Winkyface has a way better line on the dirt part, and I think that will be first GG. We have our perfect participant from this match. Winkyface from Australia will be moving on to the winners. For the losers bracket final. And due to that, also we have Einol going into the finalist status, and Einol is also not too far as well, only having 84 points himself. As we're going to be moving on to, I believe it's going to be ESAC competition 2021A, sold out by Slays. Was not one of the better maps for Einol, as CTHN was looking a bit better on this map. If we check on the personal best on this map from the players who are currently playing, so Winkyface had the fastest time, but he had been finished with his match. So out of the current playing players, CTHN actually do have the fastest personal best, with a time of 51.6, and I'll see with the second fastest time out of these players with the 51.8. And Einol with the 51.9. But we have seen that Einol was not really being used to the textile maps that often, since most of these players just came into the game with the new game, as the textile wasn't that oftenly played. So most of these players are not that ideal at tech. but some players have adapted, as CTHN actually used to play in some tech competitions in Trackmania 2 Stadium and Trackmania Nations Forever. So a bit having some tech advantage and tech experience for CTHN here. So let's see how we'll do so here on this map, which is a pure tech map. At the moment, CTHN leading. Actually, Idol having a bit better line there. Starting putting himself into the fight. Also, NRC being a pretty close place in third as NRC gets the nose slide. Idol gets the nose slide as well. The CTHN gets the airtime there, puts himself into the wall. Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting situation there happening. As we have NRC now into the lead. With CTHN following in the second place now, overtaking now NRC for that first position. As I mentioned previously, CTHN being one of the potential contenders, getting those extra plus 10 points as actually NRC gets the bump at the end, denying at least those denying those plus 6 points from NRC. That would put him in only at 90 at least, giving those extra rounds to work with. But it looks like CTHN will be the strongest contender here. At this point, all three players making a mistake in the round. Moment CTHN leading the round with the ball, but other two players are pretty close by. And NRC having a bit better speed there. And all with a very safe drift there, trying to at least go through the turns, as we have seen a lot of mistakes happening from the players as he gets airtime and puts himself out of this race, as we have a pretty close fight now between CTHN and NRC. And NRC going for the outside line, trying to get a bit more speed. But still CTHN managed to keep the lead. NRC gets the gear down into the slide, will put a bit bigger gap for CTHN, as CTHN is on his way to get another 10-pointer in the match. And it will, yes, CTHN will get those plus 10 points. Now, slowly climbing, that's what I was saying like before, as we had a similar situation with Gaming Boy in the winner's bracket semi-final 1, where a player with a pretty big points gap was slowly climbing his way back, as CTHN looks pretty decent on this map. But Idol is still stuck in finalists, so he really needs to take that round win, as all these three players, only one of them will be able to move on to the next round, with other two being eliminated. So Idol at the moment in the best position, being in the finalist, as CTHN crashes, so one of the best contenders on this map from all of these three players is out of the race. So it's now a fight between Idol and NRC, as both players not having any mistakes early on, as we saw in previous rounds. Idol in the minor lead, but falling by NRC. So if NRC even just finishes in the top two positions, he will put in finalists as well. But since Idol is in the finalists already in a pretty big lead as well, this could give a nice opportunity for him, as he is over then 1 second away from both CTHN and NRC. So let's see on who will be, and it will Idol finish. And yes, we will have the second player moving on to from this match. It will be Idol from Malaysia going to the winners, for the loser bracket final, together with Winky Face. We'll be playing against Simply Nick and Seb for the chance at the slot in the grand final. And due to that, Winky Face and Idol are guaranteed a top 6 placement, where NRC and CTHN finish the tournament in the top 8 positions. So pretty good match so far. Now in around a couple of minutes we'll be starting the winners bracket. Sorry, I keep saying winners. Losers bracket final. It's gonna be played just in a couple of minutes. Just have to adjust some couple of things first. Okay, if we have a look at the brackets right now, so we have Winky Face and Idol moving up to the losers bracket final, where we saw both Fiddy and Gaming Boy, which managed to go through all of the winners bracket final without losing a single match, with the get some extra bonus points on top of that. Well, they're playing against two players, either Seb from Australia, Simply Nick from Australia, Seb from Taiwan, Einol from Malaysia, or Winky Face from Australia. So there's a pretty high chance at the moment we have 3 Australia players in the top 6 and 3 Asia players in the top 6, already having 1 OS player in the grand final, 1 Asia as well. So let's see how it will get 3 OS players or 3 Asia players. So it's going to be a pretty interesting fight on who is the stronger region, either Asia or OS in this event. But yeah, we're going to be looking at the loser bracket final, loser bracket final between Simply Nick Seb, who lost against Gaming Boy and Fiddy in the winners bracket final, and who will be playing against Einol and Winky Face, who were playing the matches beforehand from today, which were where Einol managed to beat NRC, Lionthon, and Arpo in loser bracket round 4, and Winky Face with CTHN managed to eliminate Birdie and Namu from the match 2, where both of them managed to go through here. But we will look at the bracket entirely, as we saw it looks pretty much more diverse and a bit more dense. But we saw that Seb was looking pretty dominant in all matches except in a winner's bracket final, being one of the top contenders as well. Where he did win against Gaming Boy, Einol, and CTHN, but did struggle in the winner's final, where he started to crumble a bit and lost some of the rounds. Where we on the bottom brackets, or the bottom side, where we had Fiddy coming in and winning against Scorpion of Lionthon, eliminating Dead Tomato. Against Danger Ray, Simply Nick, and Lionthon, where he won the match as well. Same with Fiddy winning all of the... Actually, Fiddy winning all of the matches so far. Definitely looking at the possible best player in the tournament. As Gaming Boy having a bit of a shaky performance all the time, just managing to get those second positions in most matches. Even in previously, if we look at the matches, only match he had won, Gaming Boy has won, was the round of 32, where he beat Lufov and Rizzy. Even in a match against Lufov, Einol, and Arpo, he got second place, losing to Einol. In versus semi, he lost to Seb, sending Einol and CTHN in the lower losers bracket final. And then together with Fiddy managed to send Seb and Simply Nick to the losers bracket final that we're going to be witnessing. So we're going to have a small break and we'll be back with the losers bracket final. So stay tuned. Alright, and we are back with the Asia and Oceania Trackmania Championship. Now we're gonna be witnessing the losers bracket final between Ainol, Simply Nick, Winky Face, and Seb. Ainol being from Malaysia, Simply Nick from Australia, Winky Face from Australia as well, and Seb from Taiwan. Sadly, the flag for Taiwan is what it is in the game, but there's sadly not covered we can do much, but Seb is from Taiwan. If we look at how the players performed in the bracket stages beforehand, is that we saw that both Simply Nick and Seb, despite having a really good run in the winners bracket winners bracket, or the top seed, managed to winning all rounds except going out in the winners bracket final. Will be representing them both as Ainol and Winky Face, dropping down into a loser bracket in loser bracket round 4, managed to climb themselves up back to losers final. And now the players will be fighting for the 2 slots in the grand final against Fiddy and Gaming Boy. So we're gonna be starting our match. It's gonna be played on aotc Baguette by myself. So the match between Winky Face, Seb, Ainol, and Simply Nick. At the moment, Seb is in the lead, following by Simply Nick. And Ainol is fighting for that second place together with a close fight with Winky Face. Seb being a pretty confident first place so far in the run, as we have a pretty close round. Nevertheless, Ainol having a bit better line for that NASCAR part allows to slowly inch himself way closer to Simply Nick, as Seb is in the lead. Simply Nick now having the best line, but Ainol gets a bit more speed. And it's gonna be looks like gonna be Winky Face sniping Seb at the very end with pretty decent times as well. Top 2 players doing a 44s, as Ainol does a 44.1, with Simply Nick being at the moment in 4th place. So the top 2 players from this match will be going to the grand final, facing off against Fiddy from Australia and Gaming Boy from Indonesia. Or they're also going to be starting off the maps with 2 bonus points. So sadly, the winners of this match will not be getting extra bonus points if they're gonna enter the grand final. So far we have a close round up top, with Ainol being quite a bit at the back. Seb at the moment leading. Simply Nick trying to risk it with the low jump. Bit bumps the ball, loses a lot of XP, allowing even Ainol to overtake. As we have a close fight between Winky Face and Seb, so it's a bit of a deja vu from last round, as Winky Face at the moment in the lead. Seb tries to attack, gets a bit better lie, gets the smallest D is on top of that. On who will get the better end, it's gonna be Winky Face winning the round with the 44-6. Seb in 2nd place with the 44-7, and Ainol with the 3rd place also with the 44, which is a pretty good round at top. But sadly, it won't be enough to get those extra bonus points. So at the moment, we have Winky Face at the lead with 20 points, Seb in 2nd place with 12, Ainol in 3rd with 8, and at the moment, Simply Nick at the bottom with only 6. So far, close round. Ainol having a bit more speed, but having too much speed in the line. Seb also not having the most optimal lines throughout that turn, but still maintains a close fight up top, as Simply Nick at the moment goes into the lead, following by Seb, who's very close. Winky Face lagging at the moment behind in 3rd place, having a really nice low jump there, allowing him to overtake Seb, and now puts himself into top positions, as now it's on the NASCAR section. Winky Face has a bit more exit speed, bit lags out throughout the ping. Simply Nick going for a bit safer approach, not having the best speed. Looks like Winky Face tries to catch it up, and I think Winky Face will be taking the 1st position, with both players doing a 44-6s, which is really nice time. Seb in 3rd place with a minor crash at the end, with in 3rd place, and Ainol in last. So at the moment we have still Winky Face on a 3 out of 3 round win so far, and almost double the points as 2nd place so far. Winky Face having a pretty solid start so far. World record here is a 43.9 by Fiddy. But most of these players, as Simply Nick touches the ball, I don't think he will be able to make the ramp jump, as he will have to go for the safe way. As Seb at the moment is in the lead, followed by Winky Face and Ainol in 3rd. So Seb having a pretty nice opportunity there to get those extra plus 10 points. Winky Face at the moment in third place. Winky goes for the no slide line. Has a lot of speed, might even overtake Winky Face as he do so and snipes him at the end, getting that plus 6 at the end. Not having the best round so far, but at least Seb gets those extra nice plus 10 bonus in reducing the gap between him and Winky Face for the first place. So the top 2 players go through to the grand finals. So it's a pretty high stakes match so far, as we're going to surface switch made by Lurk. So the previous map and the current one were both maps that were precisely designed for this event, but rest of the maps were picked from the ESAC competition title pack, not title pack, from the map pack, being a tech-oriented map, as well as the map from the current seasonal summer campaign, and one map randomly chosen from the Trackmania exchange. So while the players are warming up on this map, let's check out some of the times that the players can do. So out of the players, currently Simply Nick has the fastest time with the 57.5. Seb also has a 57.5. Actually, both players have a PB just between 3,000. So both Simply Nick and Seb have a 57.52. Einol has a PB of 57.7. And Winky Face has a 57.8. So we can expect some couple of 57s being done in the match. So first round on surface switch. At the moment we have Winky Face in the lead with 34 points, Seb with 26, Einol with 17, and Simply Nick with 15. Let's see how will the match go on this map. Simply Nick did not have the best line there, puts himself at the bottom by a tiny bit. Einol risks for the outside line, goes for the... he tries to get a lot of speed there, but clips the outside, loses him quite a bit at the end. At the moment in the lead, tries to go for the full grip line there, as Simply Nick went for the bump line, which is a tiny bit faster, but quite risky. And thus allowing Winky Face him to overtake, as Seb at the moment is now in the league, following by Winky Face in second place. Oh, Simply Nick touches there just at the end. So it's gonna be a close fight. Well, not that close of a fight, but Seb tries to go for the safer approach. Still gets a risky fin, but barely. And gets a 59.7, which is pretty decent time. And gets a plus 10 points at the end. Winky Face with the plus 6 with the 50. And Einol at least barely finishes in time. Only 0.3 of seconds left on the finish timeout. Barely managed to go finish the round. So at the moment it's getting a closer fight at the top positions between Winky and Seb. Einol having one of the better starts. Last time here round he did manage to crash, so it's a close fight between two Asia players, between Seb and Einol. For the top position, Simply Nick goes for a bit of an insider approach, but loses a lot of extra speed due to that. So close fight between the two Asia players at the top for those extra 10 and 6 points. While both OS players are at the bottom. Winky Face definitely not having the best round so far. Woman being 1 second behind, but he tries to risk it and slowly gains a bit. As well to the top leaders, as well to the other players in the pack. It looks like pretty solid position. Einol not having the best line there, touches the wall, allowing both OS players to finish off, as actually almost Simply Nick snipes Seb there as not having the best transition, but Seb still gets the plus 10 at the end. That puts him into the lead in terms of points. Winky Face in the second place. Simply Nick also overtakes Einol, with Einol having that mistake at the end. Simply Nick now having a bit better start so far, with both Winky Face and Seb being in the top positions, as Einol is again having a pretty big mistake and being quite far back. Seb having a nice drift throughout that part. Winky Face is still close by as he gets a no slide, allowing now Simply Nick go to the second place as both Winky Face and Einol are at the bottom fighting for those extra 4 points now. There's a very close fight at the bottom now. Nick having a very shaky line there. Seb tries to attack. That's a very sketchy line, but should be enough, and he will secure that plus 10 points with the 58.06. Simply Nick getting a plus 6. Einol getting the plus 4, winning that 1v1 with him and Winky Face. But slowly, Simply Nick getting those top 2 positions are, and Winky Face making those mistakes are also reducing the points gap between the top 2 players and the 3rd and 4th place. Meanwhile, Seb is slowly running away, getting those extra round wins here and there. Simply Nick having one of the best starts so far. Seb getting a bit of airtime in the transition as Einol touches quite a bit of grass there, loses a bit of speed. No players getting a no slide so far. Winky Face with a pretty solid drift there. As actually Einol and Winky Face having a pretty better drift, but Winky Face touches the side, allowing all players to going for the no slides backup. As we have a close round so far between Seb and Simply Nick for those 10 points. Simply Nick did go for the overtake, gets a bit tighter lines. Seb goes for the riskier line. Will not gain too much on Nick, as Nick gets a plus 10 and Seb gets a plus 6. And Winky Face getting only 3rd place, will slowly going down. And now only points gap being only 10 points between 3rd and 2nd. Einol as well not having the best performance makes him not gain that many points. But let's see how to go on the next map, which is going to be Uptown. One of the maps that were selected randomly from Trackmania Exchange for this map pack. If we check on the personal best, so far the best time is from these 4 players is by Einol, 43.003. Second fastest time is Simply 43.1. Winky Face with the 43.1 as well. Precisely, Simply has a 43.14. Winky Face 43.17. And Seb has a 43.3. So it's like Einol has the fastest time, but let's see how the consistency go in the matches. We have seen 43.3s most of the time being the fastest round times being done in the match. I've not really seen a 0.2 or anything lower done. So since all of these players, I think except Seb, being capable of going under 43.3, let's see what will happen in the match. So we can definitely expect some very close rounds, as we see this a very close warm-up already. Yeah, Simply Nick did 43.61 and he was last in the warm-up. So definitely gonna be an interesting rounds being done on this map. As we're gonna be starting the first round on Uptown and entering the map, we have Seb in the lead with 62 points, Winky Face with 51, Simply Nick with 41, and Einol with 30. But like I said, Seb not looking the strongest here, but let's see how it will go in terms of regular rounds performance. Simply Nick not having the best of starts so far, being a bit far behind the rest of the pack. Winky Face at the moment leading, followed by Einol and Seb in 2nd and 3rd place. So this is a nice fight between 2 Australia players and 2 Asia players. As there is a close fight at the top, Einol getting a sick bobsled, overtaking Seb, and now starting to challenge Winky Face as well. But he gets thrown out to the outside line, allowing him and maybe to Seb to snipe, and it will be Seb sniping just by 100, and a really nice time by Winky Face, 43.1. I think, yes, Winky Face does set a new personal best, and that's even beats, that's the 4th world time that Winky Face did in the match. So that's a nice time by Winky Face right there. And I think that's the fastest round time overall that we have seen so far in the match. Simply going for the lower approach on the magnet. That's not very well for a lot of exit speed as he clips into the middle. Putting him out of the race in this round, as Seb is at the moment leading the race, followed by Einol and Winky Face. And Albit gaining on the bobsled, overtaking Winky Face and Seb as well. Goes for the creepier, faster approach, goes a bit too wide, but it's gonna be a close fight between the top two players as both Seb gets the 10-pointer in the end, beating Winky Face by only 600s. And Seb gets another plus 10-pointer as again we have a round where top two players get the top two positions in the round, increasing the gap between Simply Nick and Einl. Seb now not having the best of starts, but it's still pretty close fight between all of the four players so far. Einl at the moment leading the pack. Simply Nick trying to risk between the inside section with the earlier with more exit speed. Doesn't work out that well. As top three players in a very close fight up top. Top three players getting a pretty average, I would say, bobsled, but pretty even out. Einl at the moment in the lead. We have seen pretty iffy lines, but looks like Winky Face might overtake Einl at the end. And Einl actually maintains the lead by only 0.04 of a second. Gets a plus 10 at the end. Getting that extra 10 points. Very close round up top. But Einl getting those extra 10 points now. And Simply Nick not having the best time here as well. Having a lot of crashes. Not having the best space. Now most likely going to give chance for Einl to catch up in points. As on paper, Einl is the fastest player on this map. It definitely looks like it so far. In the rounds, Simply Nick touches the inside. So we have both Australia players outside of the round. So it's a Asia 1v1 at the moment happening in this round. Who will get the 10-pointer? Who will get the 6-pointer? Both Winky Face and Simply Nick are out of the fight. Can't find my hotkey for Seb. Okay, Seb is trying to catch it up, gets a bit airtime. And I think this will be another plus 10 points for Einl. Einl goes for the low jump on top of that. And Einl having pretty decent regular pace with 43 fours, which is a solid rounds performance for times. And gets another plus 10. Now overtaking Simply Nick in the standings. While Seb is getting another plus 6 points and only 12 points away from entering finalist status. As we're going to the tech map, competition 2021, a sold out that was made for the ESAC competition pack. So a full-on tech map being played. We saw that Seb is looking very dominant on this map. If we look at the personal best from the players on this map, Seb has the time of 50.9. Whereas the second fastest time from all of these players are Winky Face with a 51.49, having a 0.4 faster PB than second best player in the lobby. Simply Nick's personal best is a 51.5. And Einl has only a 51.9. So a difference between Einl's and Seb's personal best is an entire second. So Seb definitely looking very strong, and I think this could be a map where Seb potentially could finalize the match and put himself into the grand final. Because Seb is looking really strong on tech, having the 6th fastest world time. Having even faster time on this map than Feed even. And we're going to be starting our first round on competition 21, a sold out by Slays. We have Seb at 88 points, Winky Face at 77, Einl at 58, and Simply Nick at 53. So the top two players from this match will go on to the grand final. Seb and Winky Face at the moment, close fight up top. Seb having a bit shaky lines with Simply Nick having a bump as well. Einl. Einl. A very nice name there. Einl having a small no slide right there. Put himself out of the round. Having close fight at top between Winky Face and Seb at the top. As Winky Face actually now overtakes the lead. As having a close round so far. Seb tries to attack, gets a bit more speed. But at the end, looks like gonna be a good round so far. Both players doing... Actually, Winky Face sniping by 2000s. 51.6. Which is a pretty solid rounds time on top of that. Both players doing a 51. Winky Face definitely gets showing that, okay, maybe I can do something on this map, and that denying the 10-pointer from Seb. But now Seb needs to get to only a top 2 in the round. And he will enter finalists, as Winky Face is also only 13 points away. And then there's a pretty big gap between Einol and Simply Nick for the 3rd place. At that moment, we have a lot of mistakes already happening. Seb in a pretty convincing 1st place, following by Einol in 2nd. Einol trying to get that +6, as we have seen Einol not looking the best on tech maps, as well as everyone else, basically. Yeah, looks like everyone has basically crashed, so we have pretty big gaps already. Seb being in a pretty convincingly. Einol trying to catch up a bit, but Seb is slowly increasing the gap, as we have Winky Face and Simply Nick with the pretty large mistakes at the bottom. And we will have Seb taking the +10 points, Einol getting the +6, and looks like gonna be Winky Face getting the +4, and Simply Nick finishing also just in time with the +3. Now we have the first player. It's gonna be Seb entering the finalist status, trying to put himself into the grand final. Winky Face also can deny, also enter finalist status himself. But instead, maybe we can see an insane comeback from Simply Nick and Einol as well. That can happen. As Einol actually gets a no slide. And there's a close fight between Atomp, as Winky Face gets a no slide. And it's only Seb and Simply Nick who are surviving to the round, while Seb has a 0.2 lead so far in the match. Simply Nick does try to attack, do some damage, get those extra points, but Seb is on his way to get a position in the grand final. And yes, then we will have our 3rd player in the grand final with a pretty decent time as well, 51.5. Simply Nick doing a pretty solid time as well, 51.8. And we'll have our first player in the grand final. It's going to be Seb from Taiwan, putting himself in the 3rd place, player in the grand final, together with Fiddy and Gaming Boy. So at the moment we have 2 Asia players in the grand final. So we will have 3 Asia players or 2 OS players in the grand final, since at the moment we have Seb from Taiwan and Gaming Boy from Indonesia in the grand final, and Fiddy from Australia. So looks like a very shaky round from everyone at the moment. Einol being in the 1st position. Winky Face also not having the best time so far. So Winky Face only can enter finalist status only if he wins this round. So not that of pretty big gaps so far, which is a bit unfortunate. But a very nice opportunity for Einol to get a +10 points as he crashes! Einol crashes. He had such a free round to get those +10s, and now due to that, Simply Nick will be taking the +10 points, and Winky Face will be getting the +6. Oh, sorry, now Winky Face will be putting himself into the finalist as well. Very unfortunate stuff there from Einol, as he was about to get a +10 points, but unlucky no slide there completely throughout the round in the last turn, as we're gonna be going to the aotc Baguette, I believe, or Summer 19. Okay, it's gonna be Summer 19. That will be the map where Winky Face will have to finalize his spot. So we have 3 players left: Winky Face from Australia, Simply Nick from Australia as well, and Einol from Malaysia, trying to fight for the last slot in the grand final. So it's gonna be played on the Summer 19 campaign track. So if we look at the PBs, there were some pretty solid times from the players on this map, if I'm not mistaken. So Winky Face has a top 15 time rolled on this map with a 49.5. Simply Nick has 49.9, which is also a top 50 time on this map. And Einol has a 50.2, which is a top 100 time as well on this map. So it's gonna be an interesting round. I feel like it's gonna be a bit more consistency based, since there's very map that's quite easy to have some mistakes happening, and the gear gear up at the start is going to be a very crucial part, especially at this level. So we have 3 players left. Only 1 player can go into the grand final from these 3 players. Winky Face at the moment being in the finalist status. At the moment as Idol touches the wall, puts himself out of the round, so it's all up to Simply Nick to deny Winky Face in this round. But meanwhile, Winky Face is leading the round. Simply Nick having a bit more speed. Has a nice opportunity to gain, but let's see what will happen there with the round. He goes for a bit more speed. Doesn't get the gear up. Thus, due to that, loses a gear. Now Winky Face is on his straightway. Doesn't get the freewheel as well, as now Winky Face increases the gap. And now Winky Face just has to save the end, and he will be put himself into the grand final together with Fiddy, Gaming Boy, and Seb. And due to that, Idol and Simply Nick will be eliminated from the tournament with a pretty decent time as well, 51.3. And we have our 4 players known in the grand final. So due to that, now Seb and Winky Face will move on to the grand final together with Fiddy and Gaming Boy. But the grand final will be played shortly, in around 15 minutes, I believe. But some things to note is that Fiddy will get plus 10 bonus points starting the match, since he came in from the winner's bracket final with first place. Gaming Boy will get plus 6 extra points starting the match, as he got second place in the winner's bracket final, while both Winky Face and Einel will start with 0. So the grand final will be played till 121 points. If we have a small peek at the bracket. So we had the loser bracket being played, where both Winky Face did got eliminated in the winners bracket semi-final against NRC, Fiddy and Simply Nick, where he got sent to the losers bracket round 4, where he managed to eliminate Namu, who is the current best player in India. He had a very close fight between CTHN that put himself into the losers bracket round 5, where he won the match as well, and looking very decent here as well, winning this match as well, and putting himself into the grand final against Fiddy and Gaming Boy, who were all the time maintaining themselves in the top bracket. If we go up to the bracket, we see that Seb had a very good winning spree between the players, only getting eliminated in the winners bracket final by Fiddy and Gaming Boy. If we find so if we look, Fiddy also had I think has the strongest matchup so far, where Fiddy has not gotten second in any of the matches, winning every single match so far in the entire tournament, winning winners bracket round 1, round 2, round 3, and winners bracket final. So Fiddy definitely looking the strongest contender so far. As we look at the top bracket, as with Gaming Boy starting from winners bracket round 1, match 3, where Gaming Boy did manage to win that round, sending Rizimis to losers. Then he in winners bracket round 2, Gaming Boy managed to go through the round, but only losing to Einel. Then in the winners bracket semifinal, where the 4 best Asia players managed to meet, top 2 players went through was Seb and Gaming Boy to the winners bracket final from the Asia semifinal, which just happened to shuffled up like that. And in the Australia semifinal, Simply Nick and Fiddy went through, where Fiddy and Gaming Boy went through the grand final, while other players had to fight themselves out through the losers bracket, where they managed to go through, and we got ourselves Winky Face and Seb in the grand final. Yes, players from Middle East were also allowed to participate. If we go to the total player numbers, we see players from regions like Turkey, Armenia, Jordania, and United Arab Emirates also participating. So the final is going to be fight for $40. So the first place will get 25, second place will get 15, and fifth place, no, sorry, it's going to be 25, 10, and 5 being distributed like that for the grand final. So we're gonna have a small break, and in around 15 minutes, we'll be starting the grand final. So stay tuned. Alright, welcome everyone to Asia and O's Trackmania Championship Grand Final between Fiddy, Gaming Boy, Winky Face and Seb. Fiddy was the player who managed to win all matches in the winners bracket final. In the entire winners brackets, and then Gods won the winners bracket final as well, scoring extra 10 bonus points, entering the grand final. Gaming Boy also managed to go through all of the winners bracket matches, getting second position in the winners bracket final, getting 6 bonus points that they will be starting off the match, while Seb and Winky Face, they dropped down into losers bracket, where Seb dropped down into losers bracket from winners bracket final, where he fought out through it and put himself into the grand final, and Winky Face dropped down to the losers bracket in the semi-final and managed to fight himself way into the grand final. And that's how we see these 4 players. We have 2 OS players from Australia, Fiddy and Winky Face, and we have 2 Asia players, Seb from Taiwan and Gaming Boy from Indonesia. So we're gonna have the same kind of puck-off mode format being played, except we will be playing till 121 points with 3 winners. Winner getting the title Asia and O's Trackmania champion for summer season, as well as $25 prize money on top of that. Same as well some extra prize money for 2nd and 3rd places. We're going to be starting on Uptown. So far, looks like a good round from Fiddy, who has been dominating all matches he has played so far. So far, a solid performance in this round, with like top 3 close fight between all of the rest of the players, fighting for those extra plus 6 points in the 2nd place, as Winky Face has a very good bobsled part, tries to get some good transition there. It looks like both 2 Australia players are at the moment in 1 and 2 positions. Actually gonna be Winky Face sniping Fiddy for those 10 pointers in the round. And it's gonna be plus 10 for him. So since Gaming Boy and Fiddy did get the bonus points from starting coming from the winners bracket, they will be getting that extra nice bonus from that good achievement. But the rest of the players, Seb and Winky Face, have to fight a bit harder now if they want to get those extra top 3 positions at the end. Anyways, in this round we have Winky Face and Fiddy having a close round at the top. Both players trying to get for the top positions. Fiddy at the moment in the lead. Looks like Winky Face is a bit better ice transition, overtaking Seb and closing in on Fiddy. Fiddy gets a bit better transition, but Winky Face looks like he has a bit better setup for a better line. He might snipe Fiddy for the end at the top positions, and it's actually Fiddy maintaining top with pretty solid times on top of that. 43.2 being the winning time, and same as 43.3 being a pretty solid time on top of that. But both Asia players, Seb at the moment at the bottom with 7 points, Gaming Boy with 13 in 3rd. Winky Face with 16 in 2nd, and Fiddy at the top with 26. Winky Face a bit lagging behind as well, as we have Fiddy and Seb now in the top 3 positions. Gaming Boy a bit at the bottom, being 0.3 behind the pack at the top. As we have Winky Face going for a bit of aggressive approach, gets a lot of speed, tries to overtake the Seb, having a bit better bobsled section as Fiddy doesn't have it optimal. Winky Face goes into the lead due to that. Gaming Boy having a bit of an oversteer on the ice dirt slides. It looks like Winky Face is gonna take this plus 10 points as Fiddy tried to snipe Seb for that 2nd position, and a good solid time from Winky Face yet again with the 43.2. Definitely very fast pace already in the match, as we saw Winky Face having a really solid performance throughout the losers bracket final. And the previous losers bracket rounds on top of that, winning every single match he played in the losers after he got sent there from the winners semi-final. Fiddy at the moment in the lead. Gaming Boy tries to get some speed, gets a lot more speed than Winky Face and Seb. Oh, gets a bit of an oversteer there. Winky Face a bit lags into the part as we have a close fight between Fiddy and Seb. Seb looks like have a bit better setup for the bobsled part. As actually the speed maintains fairly equal. Fiddy gets a nice oversteer. Seb has a lot of speed. He gets the upper gear from it, gets a bit airtime, loses a lot of speed due to that. Fiddy gets the top positions. He will get the plus 10 points at the end. With decent times as well, we have a pretty solid times overall, with 43 mids being done for the winning times, and Fiddy gets a plus 10 due to that. Seb gets a really useful plus 6, slowly reducing the gap between the top two places of Winky Face at the bottom. But keep in mind that Gaming Boy was at the plus 6 advantage, so Winky Face already putting himself in the second position was a pretty good shot. So we're gonna go into the tech map, which is the competition 2021, a sold out by Slays, being part of the ESA competition map pool for the previous season. If we check out the personal best from all of these players on this map, from the participants to be precise. So the fastest time is by Seb, 50.95. Then we have Winky Face with a 51.49. Fiddy with the 51.6. And Gaming Boy as well with the 51.6. So at the moment I would say Seb is looking the strongest, as we saw Seb having a really solid rounds performance in time-wise and in rounds as well on this map. But let's see what will they do. I'm expecting to see a lot of 51s being done in rounds, since especially this is the grand final. You gotta push it for those extra top positions, since it's pretty hard to just play safe and get some good points here. So the face really needs to be up there. But I'm a bit expecting Seb to get some extra points and climb up some of those positions. And we're starting the first round. We have Gaming Boy with an early mistake, clipping the inside of the part. Seb at the moment in a minor lead over Winky Face and Fiddy. Fiddy having a bit of an outside line, having a bumpier line as well, not having the transition the best. All of the top 3 players maintaining the slide, as we have seen no slides being done there quite often. Seb still maintains the lead. Winky Face trying to attack, goes for a bit of an outside line, trying to build up more speed, but Seb's inside approach was still working out pretty well. Where is Fiddy? Fiddy's quite a bit of far behind, as Gaming Boy had a small crash as well. So Winky Face at the moment in the second position. And looks like gonna be Seb winning the round with the 51.3. Winky Face I think PBing as well. Oh, very close to PB. So Winky Face personal best is a 41.4. So very close there in the round. But Seb takes the first plus 10 pointer from this map. And puts himself in the third position, overtaking Gaming Boy in terms of points. So at the moment we have another close round. Gaming Boy again being a bit far behind, not having the best match so far for him, especially since he came from the winners bracket. But he had this kind of similar pattern. He was doing really bad, and then he somehow at the end managed to snipe everyone. So maybe we might see the similar situation here as well. And where we have Seb leading, well, there's a really close fight between the both Australian players, Fiddy and Winky Face, for the second position and plus 6 points in the match. Seb at the moment a pretty comfortable place. The real lead as Fiddy gets a no slide, definitely eliminating the fight from the second position and giving it to Winky Face, as Seb takes the plus 10 points with another 51 mid. Winky Face taking a plus 6 in the second place, Fiddy in third place, and even almost Gaming Boy with the major mistake at the start, managing to caught up, almost catching up Fiddy, but still Fiddy maintaining the plus 4 at the end. And due to that, Seb is now really getting close to top 2 players so far. So no early mistakes from Gaming Boy, even though he had to readjust the line. Having a bit iffy inside approach there, puts him at the back of the pack a tiny bit. Fiddy having a bit of a bumpier setup. Not having what looks like Fiddy gets the no slides, as we have seen almost in every single round a player at least once gets a no slide there. But I'm actually Winky Face leading the pack at the moment. Gaming Boy slowly catching up even to Winky Face at the moment, having a bit better line, catches up even to Seb. Gaming Boy goes for the auto slide line just to get some more speed, gets the gear down unfortunately, so it's going to be a close fight for the top 10 points. It's going to be Winky Face going for the low jump, but he gets a small bump, and Seb still managed to get the plus 10 points even by only bit over 100, but still gets the plus 10 points that will put him into the second place in the match so far. So putting all the top 3 players in a very close situation. So definitely the player from Taiwan showing an insane performance so far on the tech map. I think he has won 3 out of 3 rounds so far, getting those extra 30 points. Basically almost doubling the points amount he had from the previous map. Gaming Boy not having the best of starts, getting those extra bumps. Looks like not the best map for him. Seb really close on touching the walls, but Winkyface still managed to go in the lead. Seb overtakes Fiddy in that section. Fiddy goes for the outside line, tries to build up some extra speed. Gets a bit closer to Seb and Winkyface, but he has to drift a bit more to reduce the speed for the proper turn execution. Winkyface still managed to get a better slide, but Solid very close around. Seb gets the no slide. Gaming Boy now is trying to attack for second place. Looks like Winkyface will get a free plus 10 points. Fiddy touches the side. And it'll be Gaming Boy taking the plus 6, as Seb actually gonna overtake Fiddy for that third position, getting that plus 4. Now Winkyface will get the plus 10, and I think that will put Winkyface at the top of the scoreboard due to that round win. So really close fight for the third place. It's a really close fight between Winkyface, Seb and Fiddy, as we are going to the next map, and it's gonna be Summer 19. Being one of the maps that will be played from the summer campaign in the map pack. If we have a look at the time, so at the moment the fastest time from these players is Winkyface with the 49.5, which is a top 15 world time at the moment. Fiddy has a 49.6, which is the top 30 world time on this map. Bit hard to see where are the other players, so they're a bit far behind. So Gaming Boy has a top 70 time with a 49.9, and Seb doesn't. Oh, okay, and Seb has a 50.2, which is a top 125 time. So two players are in top 25 in the map, Winkyface and Fiddy, in terms of pace. But of course, that is the riskier max pace that players will do, as Winkyface does a 49.8 in a round. That is a top 50 roll time in a round. Ridiculous. So let's see what all the players will be able to do in this grand final here. Following with Winkyface, the player who is with the top 50 in roll time on this map. At the moment, having a really insane matches today, winning all matches so far. Actually, it looks like a contender on taking the grand final as well, as Gaming Boy touches the inside wall, putting him out of the round with a pretty big disadvantage. Fiddy at the moment in the lead. Winkyface in the third place, following by Seb in second. Fiddy at the moment lead, all players maintaining to get the gear, gets the full jump over the reactor part. Fiddy actually gets a bit of an earlier landing, gets a bit more speed, same with Winkyface. Putting a bit closer to the rest of the player field. Let's see on the ice, water bounces, so looks like Seb goes for the safer approach. Gets a bit more speed, but it's gonna be Fiddy taking the plus 10 points, following by Seb with the plus 6, Winkyface with the plus 4, and Gaming Boy with the plus 3 at the end, with the early mistake happening early on. So it looks like two Australia players here in the top 2 positions. So it looks like a bit of a repeat. Hopefully we'll see a bit different patterns happening this time than in last season. So it looks like we had an early mistake. It was Winkyface having an early touch there. So we have a fight for the first place between Gaming Boy, Seb, and Fiddy as well. So both Asia players are fighting now for the top 10 points. For the 10 points in the round. Second place getting 6 points, while both Australia players are now falling down behind due to the mistakes. It's still 121 points in the cup mode. So Seb overtakes Gaming Boy now. Gaming Boy has a bit more speed. Let's see who will get the end a bit better. And it's actually going to be Gaming Boy winning the round with the plus 10 points, Seb being in second place. Gaming Boy now reducing the points gap between him and rest of the playing field. Well, Seb, I think Seb will overtake Winky Face now. Oh, he will be tied with Winky Face between third and second. So definitely a map where Gaming Boy can slowly get some, if he gets some consistent runs going on. Since looks like the Australian players are risking quite hard and trying to get those really fast runs in, and at the same time making a bit more mistakes. So no early mistakes from the beginning. We see Fiddy leading the pack, followed by Gaming Boy, Winky Face and Seb in fourth position. Oh, Gaming Boy had to readjust the line. Winky Face has a very nice line there as well, as all top 3 players managed to take a lot of speed. Winky Face has a bit early landing, overtakes Fiddy there in that part, getting a bit more speed at the exit. Really close fight now at the top 3. It's Winky Face having a bit of a nicer line. Fiddy trying to go with Seb, actually overtakes them. Let's see how will happen in the end. We have seen no slots, and looks like Seb might overtake if Winky Face takes it. No, Seb actually does take the one round, getting the plus 10 points. Winky Face in second place with the plus 6, and Fiddy in third place with the plus 4. And sadly, with the mistake from Gaming Boy, he gets a plus 3, but at least he managed to finish. And it was a really sick round. So Seb now putting himself in the first position, potentially being the first winner. Can he be the first winner from Asia to win an Asia and host Trackmania Championship, as we have Gaming Boy almost touching the wall, but still managed to survive, but already putting, since Fiddy got the upper gear after the freewheel part, put himself in a pretty good lead. Well, we have Seb in a close fight for us, so we have a nice pack for those extra 6 points battle. So far, as Fiddy is a pretty big lead so far, unless a massive mistake happens from him. While Winky Face trying to fight for those extra 6 points, and same with Seb. Where is Gaming Boy? Gaming Boy is a bit far behind, trying to put him at the back. Fiddy at the moment at the top. Looks like Seb has a bit more speed, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. That'll be Fiddy taking the first place. Pretty solid time, 50.1. Winky Face with the 6 in second place with the plus 6 with the 50.6, and Seb in the third place with the plus 4. So again, we have a bit of a spiced up final. Spiced up top 3 positions, and we're going on to the aotc baguette. So after this previous map, we have Fiddy at the moment leading from Australia with 81 points. Second place is Seb from Taiwan with 79. Winky Face in third place from Australia with 77. And Gaming Boy with 55, being player from Indonesia. So let's see who will be, if we check out on the PBs from the players on this map. So Fiddy has the fastest time, only player go under 43 seconds. 44 seconds, sorry, having a time of 43.9. Seb has a 44.09. Gaming Boy has a 44.2. And Winky Face has a 44.5. So we could maybe even see some low 44s being played in the match. The match is played in a 1v1v1 cup mode format. Played till 128 points. Played till 3 winners. Winner gets $25 prize money. Second place gets 10, and third place gets 5. Well, third place gets nothing, sadly. And we have a close match so far. No major mistakes so far from the players. Winky Face at the moment leading after the first section. It's been a close fight. We have a bit of shuffling player field at the moment. Looks like Gaming Boy at the moment leading with a close fight between Fiddy and Seb, while Winky Face has made a mistake early on. Seb tries to risk it in the NASCAR section. Gaming Boy has a lot more speed, even overtaking. Seb has, meanwhile, gets an SD, gets a bit more speed. We have a pretty diverse playing field happening right now, and it's actually a bit of Fiddy gonna win the round with a 44.3. Seb doing a 44.3 as well, but getting only plus 6 in the match. Gaming Boy getting a 44.5. And I think Winky Face gonna have a hard time to catch up, because Winky Face personal best, well, basically top 3 players beat Winky Face's personal best on this map. So I feel like Winky Face will have a bit of a harder time to get some points, but I think we'll have some sick rounds coming up. since those are some good times as we saw Gaming Boy bonking the tree there, putting him out of this round. Seb gets a really nice drift there, gets a lot of speed, falling now, but chased by the two Australians. Fiddy trying to fight for looks like Winky Face, goes for a very good low jump, gets a bit of speed there, but still is 0.3 behind. Losing a bit of a next speed as well. Fiddy at the moment in the leads. Winky Face having a pretty solid line there, had to re-release to readjust the line, but looks like Fiddy might take the plus 10 points so far, as actually Winky Face might snipe him, and it was super close. But Seb still managed to maintain the second position and get the plus 6 as Gaming Boy at least finishes in the end with the plus 3. So Fiddy already crossing the 100 points threshold. Seb is being pretty close to replaying still 121 points in the match. So far it's been a pretty close back at the start. Players going for the inside line, trying to get some speed like that. Gaming Boy goes a bit too wide, loses, lets all of the other players pass him due to that. No major mistakes from the players. We have a really close round, seems like it. Gaming Boy with the shakier line. Seb at the moment is leading the pack. Gaming Boy has a lot of speed, but will it be enough for him to get something done in the end, as we have a 6 rounds coming up? As Seb might take it, and yes, Seb will win it with a 44.2. Second place goes to Fiddy with the 44.4. And Winky Face with the 44.7. Gaming Boy, even though doing a 44.8, still gets last place in the round. And Fiddy is now only 14 points away from entering finalist status. Gaming Boy goes for the outside line, tries to get some extra more speed. We have another closer round here as Winky Face a bit lags behind. So far a close back between Fiddy, Seb and Gaming Boy. Gaming Boy gets a very nice low jump, gets a bit more speed than Seb, but very equal than Fiddy. Winky Face at the bottom. Gaming Boy has a very bad line there through that section. Very close fight between Seb and Fiddy at the moment. Seems like who will risk it. Seb touches, Fiddy touches, and Seb has a nice opportunity to get the plus 10 points as Gaming Boy actually gets the water trick and gains a bit up, only down, reduces the gap to points 10, but Seb still takes the plus 10 points, and Gaming Boy gets the plus 6 from the bottom that he will definitely need if he wants to at least get that third or second place. But looks like Seb now puts himself into the lead, and now being only 1 round win away from entering finalist status, as we're moving on to Surface Switch, which is one of the maps that was made for the event. If we check out on the time score, and fastest time is by Fiddy, 57.3. Gaming Boy has a 57.43. Seb has a 57.52. And Winky Face has a 57.83. In terms of personal best. So Fiddy is definitely the fastest one on paper, following by Seb. But I feel like players are really risking it, and sometimes I think we're gonna see maybe some PBs happening from some of the players in the rounds. But at the moment, Fiddy and Seb in terms of pace are definitely looking the strongest. And if we look at the points, if Seb wins this round, he will be put in finalist, while Fiddy is 11 points away. Winky Face is at 92. And Gaming Boy is at 71. So we're going to be playing till 121 points and 3 winners. So definitely a good look so far for... going to be close fight between Seb and Fiddy in the match. Since Asia has not had a single winner so far. I think so far the best performance for Asia players is 3rd place in the Asia Trackmania Championship, since which held the first edition in the spring season. And we're starting the first round on Surface Switch. So we have Winky Face now leading the pack, followed by Gaming Boy, although Fiddy has a lot more extra speed, now goes in the fight. Seb has a very aggressive inside line, has a good approach there. Bit gets small airtime, but still a pretty close pack in the fight, although Gaming Boy and Fiddy are fighting for the top 2 positions so far, while Seb tries to attack as well, tries to get some saying in this match. Seb needs to win this round and he will be put into the finalist status. As he touches the wall, no! And it's gonna be a fight between Gaming Boy and Fiddy for those plus 10 points. It looks like Fiddy at the moment is looking better as Fiddy gets the upper gear at the exiting the freewheel parts. And who will it be on getting the plus 10 points? Fiddy having a bit shakier line, but still enough for him to finish with a pretty solid time on top of that. 57.6 really fast times by both Fiddy and Gaming Boy, but Fiddy gets the plus 10 points. And he's only 1 point away from reaching finalists. So now Seb needs to win a round. And he will be put in finalists. So a bit of an iffy position for Seb at the moment. Well, Gaming Boy and Winky Face are a bit further behind. But Seb definitely needs to get that 10-pointer if he wants to reach finalists himself, as Gaming Boy goes for the riskier outside line. And now it's a fight between Seb and Fiddy, since both Winky Face and Gaming Boy are out of this round. I think if Seb wins this round, he can give some nice confidence boosts on him taking the finalist if he manages to take this. Since Seb needs to take this round against Fiddy if he wants to get into the finalists. Same with Fiddy. Fiddy just needs to finish, but he can deny some points and gets that extra breathing room with the more finalist attempts. It's actually Fiddy gets the upper gear by the exit in the part, so we have a really close fight now between Seb and Fiddy for this plus 10 points. And who will it be? Fiddy having a bit shaky around. That's actually a bit Fiddy sniping at the end by 100, and due to that he denies the potential of Seb going into finalist at the very end. And now Fiddy is the first person on the finalist, and Fiddy can end it here if he wins this round. So Seb really needs to deny, or Gaming Boy or Winky Face. As Fiddy actually touches, and looks like a bit of a pressure got probably to him. So all of the other players have a nice opportunity to deny him and get some extra points, especially Seb, who needs that. He just needs to finish. But I think Gaming Boy definitely needs those extra points. So I think if Gaming Boy gets the plus 10 pointer, it would be really nice for him. Although Fiddy is slowly actually getting close. He actually only dropped down to only 0.4. Which a minor mistake from all of the 3 players can basically make a comeback, as he's trying to risk it. Slowly trying to gain to the rest of the pack, as he's gaining slowly but surely. If he gets the upper gear, he can get some nice, as he risked it for the upper gear, but did not manage to go through. As we have a sick fight for the top positions here. Ridiculously close, and it's actually Gaming Boy gonna take the very useful plus 10 points. Seb will take the plus 6, denying the extra 2 bonus points from Winky Face. And due to that, we have double the finalists for the players. We have Fiddy and Seb. And we will on the last round on this map between Fiddy and Seb. Who will take it? Who will become the Asia and Oceania Trackmania champion for summer season? Gaming Boy gets a small speed penalty. He's out of the round. Seb tries to risk it for the outside line. He's bit. Gets more speed, but Fiddy goes for the inside line. So it's a sick fight between the 2 finalists. Seb is in a minor lead. Fiddy tries to attack. Gotta get those extra bonus points. He gets that outside line. He gets a bit more speed. Overtakes Seb for that position. While the rest of the players are quite far back. It's a ridiculously close round on who will take it. At the moment it's looking a bit good for Seb, but we saw that Fiddy, if he goes for the outside line, he needs to risk it. He actually goes safe. So both players are risking, but Seb bit loses it. But has a better line on entering the next section. So he will take it. It's going to be super close. It'll be decided with just 100. It's going to be Fiddy taken with just 200ths of a second. And it will be Fiddy winning the Asia and OS Trackmania Championship by only 200ths, or even less than 200ths. And getting those extra $25 in his pocket, while Seb, such a good performance in the round, but just those 200s really cost him that championship title. But it's still not over yet. We're still playing till 3 winners are known. So Seb has still in the finalist status, so he just needs to take the round win here, and he can solidify it in his second place. So we have Fiddy, who had a very dominant performance in the entire tournament, winning all of the matches in the previous winner bracket matches, winning every single round, and the same thing happening in the grand final, although being ridiculously close between him and Seb. So Seb still can make it, like the best performance so far from Asia players has been 3rd place in the Grand Finals. So if Seb still gonna get the 2nd place, if he plays really good. Although this is not one of the better maps for Seb. Winky Face and Gaming Boy both are a bit better than Seb here. But it can still be a pretty close fight for those top positions. So they're gonna be starting the next map. Seb being in finalists, so Seb needs to just win a round and he will secure the 2nd position. Winky Face at the moment being 13 points away from securing finalist as well. Well, Gaming Boy is a pretty far back, so Gaming Boy really needs to step up the performance, but by only being 3 players in the field, like it's a bit better to stack up the points a bit faster. Well, now all eyes on Seb. He needs to win this round and he will secure the 2nd position in the tournament, but looks like Winky Face is gonna trying to deny him. Winky Face trying to go get those extra 10 pointers, trying to deny Seb the finalist status and maybe put himself in the 2nd place, since he's not too far away from the playing field. Seb does not get the best line there, but he gets a very nice approach there. But Winky Face will be taking the plus 10 pointer in this match, in this round, with a 43.5. Pretty decent time as well. And now Winky Face is only 3 points away from reaching finalist himself. So Winky Face literally just needs to finish the next round. But Seb really needs to take it if he doesn't want to have another double finalist situation in this match. Looks like Winky Face is on the deny spree, trying to attack Seb for that position. Having a solid performance in loser brackets, actually now getting a very close fight here. Both players swapping the positions really quite a bit. Winky Face having a bit better bobsled session. Both players are kind of equal here, as I think Winky Face, yes, he clipped aside, and I think this will be set in stone as Seb will be the 2nd place in the Asia Trackmania Championship, having the best performance from an Asia country, putting Taiwan in the 2nd place in the tournament as being the best Asia performance as well in the tournament series. As now Winky Face enters finalist as well, so it's all up to Gaming Boy to secure the 3rd place. So now Seb gets those extra $10 as a prize money for 2nd place. As now it's all up to Gaming Boy on denying Winky Face for the 3rd place. I believe Gaming Boy was in 4th place the last time around, so it's kind of having the same situation as myself in the Baltic tournaments. Probably having the 4th place curse just in Asia scene. Yes, Winky Face did came from the loser bracket where he won all of the matches he played. So it's like Gaming Boy's trying to attack, having good speed here as well, but Winky Face is a bit aggressive line. Gaming Boy gets the inside, and I think this will be GG, and Winky Face will be the 3rd player and the 3rd place in the Asia Trackmania Championship. And due to that, we have our winner, Fiddy from Australia, winning the Asia Trackmania Championship Summer 2021, with getting also $25 prize money. On top of that, 2nd place goes to Seb from Taiwan, getting the extra $10 prize money. And Winky Face in 3rd place from Australia in 3rd place with the $5 prize money. And sadly, Gaming Boy goes in 4th place and sadly does not get anything, but still a pretty solid position so far. And yeah, those were some really sick grand final. I think the performance, what they showed on some of the matches, maps were really absolutely insane. But yeah, due to that, that's going to be it for the Asia and Trackmania Championship. Congratulations to Pity once again on winning the event. Very solid performance throughout the entire event. As if you are from Asia or Rose, definitely recommend checking out the Asia Trackmania Discord, where you can find about these events, where you can hear about the participation or when the next event is about to happen. As well on the Trackmania esports channel, there's going to be upcoming the country championship starting August, so you can register the team still mid-August as well with the regional qualifiers happening as well if needed. as well as next week. We'll be seeing on this channel the Baltic Trackmania League playoffs next week. Both played on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, overall this was an awesome tournament. Really great to see that we had double the players as well comparing to the Spring Edition. In Spring Edition we had around 14 players. Now we had the double. So it's really nice to see Asia and OS region growing slowly in the game. A bit unfortunate that most of the in-game events are happening for very European-centric time. So most of these players are not able to play in any of the events. So it's nice that there's a tournament series at least for them hosted. So where they at least have a nice chance to try themselves out in a competition format. But either way, that's going to be it for us. I was the host, one of the main organizers. Really shoutouts also to Rizzy and Resiro a bit helping for the event. I think this was a very nice event. If you want to stay tuned for the next couple of events, definitely follow this channel as well as the Trackmania Seasonal Series Twitter. And join the Trackmania Seasonal Series Discord as well, as there's going to be a lot of other events coming soon. And as usual, you'll find someone to raid. And I think I found a person. So we'll wait a fellow Aussie stream as well. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Whoever participated in chat, alert in the back, for whoever followed the event or even tried out the event. We would really love to see also you trying out some other events. Doesn't matter the level, the skill. Really nice to see just more players participating as well, giving this game some nice exposure throughout the events as to increase the international field in Trackmania competitive scene. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Hope you enjoyed this tournament and definitely stay tuned for next extra tournaments, as we'll have Baltic Trackmania League playoffs being played next week on the Saturday and Sunday. As well, we will have a Baltic Amateur Trackmania tournament being played in 2 weeks. And then we'll be starting I think there's going to be an off week for us. And then the country championship will be starting, which is going to be the bigger one. So definitely tune in for that. That's going to be it for us. Thank you all for watching and see you later.